Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Apex Online Racing. This is Season 20 of Xbox One F1. We stay in Europe for just a little bit longer as we go to the circuit to Catalonia for the Spanish Grand Prix. It hosts round 6 of the season, situated in Barcelona near eastern Spain. It's hosted the Spanish Grand Prix every year since 1992. It is known for being a testing circuit for many years now due to a variety of slow and fast corners and long straight, which means the teams could get a lot of data from it. There's been many battles in the past. One includes the famous Senna and Mansell battle in 1991, which goes down in history. And more recently, Max Verstappen took his maiden win here at this very circuit. Let's have a look at the track. 4.655 kilometers long with 16 corners, 7 to the left and 9 to the right. 2 DRSs, one on the back straight between turn 9 and 10, and one at the start-finish straight on turn 16. An overtaking can be found to be notoriously difficult around this track. Let's look at the action zones. First of all, going into turn 1, we are looking for PS4 F3 in Season 18, where we saw the Toro Rosso and the Alfa Romeo going side by side, and the Toro Rosso really committed to the overtake, and he made it look easy. Job done, position gain for him. Next, it's Xbox One F1 in the same season between turn 10 and 11, and we saw the Mercedes going for a great move, and it definitely paid off for him to have a good result in the race. 3 compounded tyres used for today's race: the soft, which is the C3s, mediums, which is the C2s, and the hards, which is the C1s. We can see a variety of different strategies here today, with the potential of some people to do a 1-stop, or maybe some people could do a 2-stop, 1-stop or 2-stop. We'll have to wait and see. My name is Jess, and I will be your commentator for today's race as per usual. And it's looking really overcast at the moment, with a majority of people setting their bank laps. We've got 3 people on the track at the moment on the mediums, and everybody on the soft compounded tyres. The last time AOR went to Spain was in Season 18, and the majority of people did their laps on the mediums and did a medium to hard strategy. But due to the way it's compiled on this game, you can't afford to do a 2-stop around here, and it could be a little bit faster, and we may see a majority of people go for the soft compounded tyres. We're seeing Juan Pablo now as he makes his way through these tricky set of chicanes as he goes past the first part of sector 2, past turn 5, and then heading into turn 6. He's already purple in the first sector, so he's really fast going out of that chicane, and now going through in towards turn 7 and 8. Be careful though, it's really slippery coming towards these next set of corners. You don't want to ride it too heavily, because otherwise you're going to slide like that. And then heading towards the DRS straight, one of the only DRS straights on the circuit. It's very important that you get the power on absolutely right here. Turns 10 and 11, make sure you go in 2nd gear in the apex, and then to 4th gear and then 5th gear here. As soon as you're out of turn 14, try to get the car as to the left of the curb and then to the far right on the track here in that hander. And it's not the best of laps for Juan Pablo, but he comes across the line now. Let's see what he can do. It's going to be a 1:14.3. Now, that is the benchmark time to set so far, but we can already see people improve on their lap times, which is really great to see. So Jakey B has already gone fastest with a 1:14.314. And I think the ones on the mediums will have to go out again. Hawk's back this week in the Apple Tower, which is great to see. And let's hope he can get a better result than the previous 2 weeks. But he said he was a little bit more confident in Spain than in other tracks. Now, since the clouds are starting to darken up a little bit, there may be a hint of sunburn at the moment, since we do see a little bit dark clouds coming up. If I was them, going out a bit early would be the best option, because then you'll get a lap out of the way, done and dusted, and if you don't get a lap in, then it's pretty much game over, and you'll probably be starting near the back of the grid. So let's see what he does going through into the final few corners. Turn 15 and then heading in towards turn 16. Someone is already going into the pits and he's aborted his lap. Hawk comes across the line now and it's a 1:15.419, which puts him in 8th place. He's on 2 lap tyres on the soft, so it's telling me quite a few things actually about this circuit. We could see a wet race. Now I haven't checked the chats or anything. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be spoiled because it ruins the fun. But usually if they're on tyres for a long period of time, it's going to be a wet start to the race. Because my advice to these drivers who are racing, or if any of you are racing in any leagues, do not go on tyres longer than you need to in qualifying. You could do that if you're definitely going to qualify outside the top 10. But if you're not going to qualify outside the top 10, then starting on maybe 2 lap older mediums, it's not the best idea because you will have to pit earlier and the undercut strategy may not be the best option for you. So, and Hawker's just invalidated his lap anyway, so he'll have to go into the pits. And he just swerved a little bit there, so there he goes there. Who else to set a lap time at the moment? Now, let's go on board with our championship leader, SSR Bobberts. Now, he didn't get a win last week. I jinxed him, and I even jinxed him in a tweet. And I have to say, I do apologise about that in advance. He got P10 last week, so he still keeps his point streak. He's looking really good in set to 1 at the moment. He's clearing the championship with 85 points. Next is Humperdinck with 75 points. He got a podium last week, which is great to see. Tom went back on form last week and scored a P3. Then we had Squishy Panda, as Bobbers need to be careful. He almost saved that a little bit there. And I think that was an example of another commentator's curse there. So, yeah, I may as well go on board with someone else whilst I go through the championship standings. So, we have Jonah in 5th place. Alfio in 6th place with 36 points. 7th place is King Kont, also on 36 points. 8th is LGS with 28 points. 9th is Jakey, who got a win last week, which was very well deserved one, with 26 points. He also got the extra point for fastest lap. That's why he's on 26 points. 10th place is Daegu with 25 points. 11th place is Amaze with 24 points. 12th place is Jam Pancakes with 12, or BGG Pancakes, who's not here tonight. John Pap is in 13th with 10 points. GC's not here tonight, I don't think. I don't see him in the lobby. No, I don't. He's on 7 points. Then we've got one of the new Ferraris, which I believe, I don't know who it is. It might be Pablo, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but he's on 2 points. And everybody else, Casey, Hawk, JJ Rock, and Delta yet to score. And Casey was very unlucky last week. So Amazed, he's just crossed the final corner and about to start his next lap. It is getting darker, so you never know. Cody's may throw a spanner in the works and like to throw a bit of rain at the end. I was racing in Silverstone a few weeks ago, where in quali, when they said 10 minutes to go or something, then it told me that it was going to rain at that time. And I didn't believe it, and it rained at the end of qualifying. So sometimes Cody's can throw a bit of tricks. But there we go. It happens. So we could see something similar today, and knowing how Spain's weather is recently, it could be a bit of a shock. Because last time I commentated around Spain, it was nice and sunny. So, you know, it might be a bit different here today. We'll find out. Now, Boris is in the pits. He's probably going to go out again. But his teammate, LGS, he is going out for an out lap at the moment. Now, this is a person who I know is going to need a lot of luck this weekend. He's got a win in Australia, but there was a lot of safety cars. And he's going to do a lot. He needs to do a lot more than that to score good today. And he's going to probably potentially help his teammate a little bit more, or he wants to try and get the best result for him. If I was him, because it's an early start to the season, it's a very long season, you fend for yourself at the moment. Try and help your teammate the best you can, but don't have any team orders, because team orders at the early stage of the season. And yeah, so here goes LGS with his lovely looking helmet, by the way. It's pretty good. And for those of you that were watching the Grand Prix this weekend with McLaren, they had the Mind livery for World Mental Health Day yesterday, and it looks pretty good. Shame they're not going to put that on the game, but I really hope they do, because it looks nice. But I still like the rainbow halo or anything like that, so that's been pretty cool. I did see someone go out of the pit lane, which I believe is Squishy Panda. There she goes. So she has got a bit of traffic, but she may have to move out the way, but it's going to be hard for her to slow down to get some clearer air for her to manage. So she's going to probably go out again by the looks of things. And it's the right decision to go out again for most of these guys, because you're then going to have time to do one final lap. If you go out a bit later, then you're not going to have time to squeeze 2 more laps in. So last week's pole sitter and winner has invalidated his lap time. That is a bit unfortunate. So if I was him, going out again wouldn't be too bad if there could be a threat of rain at the start of the race. But we'll have to wait and see. So we got Cont and 2 of the Cont team members. So we got Con Pablo and King Continue in 3rd place. Tom in 4th with a 1:14.8. Now the gaps are so close at the moment. So let me check the gaps. So the gaps between 1st and 10th was 9/10 per second. Now it was pretty close last week, and I was very shocked that it was quite close around Danville. But you know, some people may have practiced certain tracks more because they weren't as confident, and some people may not practice. I know Spain is kind of like a Marmite track, like Danville a majority of people like, but Spain is a Marmite track. You either love it or you hate it. To watch, really, it's kind of not the most entertaining in real life. It could become a bit of a bore fest, but in league racing it's a lot better. It produces more battles, they're able to take a lot more risks, and the strategies and the changeable conditions could change everything right now. And it is getting less visible right now. The track temperatures are cooling down as well, which means that they have to warm up their tyres a lot more in the outlap now. And if they don't, then they're probably going to end up spinning into turn 1 and not getting the best grip for their lap. Squishy Panda is 1/10 quicker than her previous best, which was great to see from her. She's about to start 10, 11 and 12. Now, I've driven around Spain a lot during open lobbies and during my team. These sets of corners are a lot easier on this game for me. It might just be my personal preference. I know some people may find it harder. And there's still this bump there heading towards the final corner, which I think we'll see quite a few people getting caught out today. So Squishy Panda comes across the line, and that's going to be 10th place still. So she doesn't improve. So I think she lost time in the final sector there with 5 minutes to go, but she should still have enough time for her to come and pit again. So what about Alfio? Alfio's still on 2 lap holes off. That is definitely telling me something though. I'm predicting, they haven't told me in the chat either, so I just looked at chat. They haven't told me in their Twitter chat that they have. I think it's going to rain at the start of the race, at least. Or it might be a full wet race. We don't know. Because why would they be on 2 lap old softs? Or have they just done that to make a mistake? You know, we'll have to find out. As Alfio comes into the pits now, as he's had a little bit of the rev glitch, which is not good. But quite a few people are going out now very quickly, actually. I mean, they want to try and go out as quickly as they can. Con Pablo's got a bit clear air, but the track will be evolving a bit later. So I think for Pablo, he's probably made the wrong decision to go out now. But to be honest, he may know that the track will start to get worse later on, and he knows he'll be the best possible opportunity. So if we see a lot of people going out now, then that's probably why. And I think we're seeing the Ferrari strategy going on, as both the Ferraris are on their outlaps at the moment. Well, Pablo's on a flyer, and he's just invalidated, so that's not good. King Cont, I do believe, is on another flyer lap. Yes, he is. He's on another flyer lap. Now, a little bit of a lock-up there going into turn 5 and then heading towards turn 6, but it's only qualifying, and if you're not going to use that tyres in the race, then it shouldn't be a problem, unless you're qualifying inside the top 10 and it doesn't rain. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, I think a few people that could get caught out with this invalidation is definitely around here, towards 10, 11. If you just hit just a teenier part of that curb, and this curb as well, that is where we've seen a lot of people invalidate, just like tonight. And I'm surprised King Kong didn't get invalidated there. He might have got a warning, but we will have to wait and see there as he goes towards the final corner now. And And it's going to be quite a quick one, actually. It's looking pretty good. A 1:14.1, that puts him P2. He was purple the final sector. I wonder if he got squirmy in the second sector and he might have lost a bit of time. You never know. I didn't see if KC improved, but I do believe he's on another lap now, I believe. So he probably potentially goes out for one final time, I think. That's potentially what he's going to be doing right now. And I do believe that you're allowed to give each other slipstream in this league. I'm not entirely sure, so maybe the Ferraris could work together in a DRS straight, maybe? I don't know. But the Ferraris are not close together anyway, so I don't think they will be doing that. Spain is not the easiest track to give the toe in. So we may see a few people actually going out for themselves in qualifying and working together a little bit more on the race. So, and these purple sector 2. Now what I've noticed in this game recently, that the game likes to give you purple sector 2, purple sector 2, and it's not really a purple sector 2. I had that quite a few times. My teammate in one race got purple, then I got purple, and it just felt really, really weird. And it was around Japan yesterday, and I was just like, what? I don't think it's true. But anyway, KC comes across the line, and he does set a lap time with a 1:40.865, which puts him in P5. But look at the gap between first and second. 69 thousandths. And why did it have to be 69? I don't know. But it's still quite close, not even a tenth. Anyway, King Kong cannot improve. So he's probably going to stay 69 thousandths slower than Jakey, unless Jakey improves a little bit more. So I think the only thing Jakey needs to worry about is Tom and Pablo. And there could be a few dark horses as well. Does Jakey have a bit of traffic? No, he can slow down a bit. He can slow down just a little bit more, because otherwise he's going to be held up on his lap, and he doesn't want that. Even though he may want a bit of slipstream, but again, we'll have to wait and see for that one. With 1 minute and 12 seconds to go of the session. And I don't think Alfio's going to go in again. And is it me? I do see a few drops of rain. Oh, what happened to the one with Ferraris? Was that KC? Yes, it was KC who binned it. So he isn't going to have time to set another lap, ladies and gentlemen. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't hold up every other person on the track. He's like a lawnmower at the moment. It can set off yellow flags, which won't be helpful for anybody. So, did he get a puncture as well? Or is he just trying to get off? Well, he's not mowing the grass per se anymore, because he's in the gravel trap. Anyway, Con Pablo has retired in the pit lane. So, the calm before the storm is now. If they're not on a lap now, then that's pretty much it. Tom doesn't have that long until he finishes a lap. Start a lap even. And he just made it. So that's good for him. So everybody apart from Alfio and King Kong and Con Pablo and KC will have time to set one more lap. Time to starting to tumble here. As we're seeing KC going very slowly. And he's running out of fuel as well. I think he missed the pit entry. But we'll see anyway. So, the checker flag is about to drop. We are seeing a McLaren, I think, about to cross the line. That's not LGS, that is Bobbitt's. Bobbitt's our championship leader. Can he score higher than 14th? He can, but only puts him into P11 at the moment. Next, we got the Mercedes of Amazed. Amazed been doing not too bad in recent races. He needs to keep up his consistency, though. Can he get higher than 13th? As he crosses over the line, stays 11th right now. Then we got the other McLaren of LGS who goes into the pit lane after invalidating his lap. There's only one Alpha of Jonah, I believe. Yeah, Jonah, he comes P5. Next across the line is one of the Hasses, which is Condegu. And he comes across the line in 7th position. Then we got a racing point, I believe. That's Tom. Let's see if Tom could do any better. P3, but he's got purple in sector 2. So I think we're just waiting for Jakey, I believe, as well, but he's slowing down. I don't think anyone else is going to improve, to be honest with you. Maybe Humperdinck? Nah. And Casey, I think, is doing donuts. I don't think you're meant to do that, but there he is doing donuts anyway. So, yeah. Jakey's run out of fuel, but it doesn't matter for him. And he's invalidated. Oh! Luckily, he just hit an AI. If he hit a person who was actually on their lap, then there would have been trouble. But luckily, it wasn't anything that cause an incident or anything. But anyway, Jakey is on pole position. He's doing a lap of victory right now. He's cutting the corners. He's oh my goodness, what on earth is he doing? Let's not follow him for the time being. I think we're just waiting now for... I think we're just waiting for Alfio to go into the to retire from the pit lane. And just look at the state of some people's tyres due to the spins as well. So as soon as Jakey B crosses the line, or retires, then we can get started with qualifying. Now I wonder if any of your predictions have come true. Now, to be honest, my predictions were all over the place. So, yeah. And he's been disqualified. What? So, Jakey B's been disqualified. I think by either going too slowly, I'm not entirely sure. So, he's parked on the circuit. Let me have a look. So, incidents. How did he get disqualified? Parked in a dangerous location. That is why you go into the pit lane. So that means he's going to start from the back of the grid. And I think because he qualified inside the top 10, he has to start on the softs anyway. I don't know. But it looked very, very weird. Very weird. But we'll find out as everybody is about to start the race. And are we going to get a wet race, I wonder? We will see. So it's King Kont that gets pole position, not Jakey. So it just goes to show, guys, do not become complacent. So King Kont is on par with Tom in second, Pablo in third, Jonah fourth, Hawk fifth, Daegu sixth, Humperdinck seventh, Casey eighth, Squishy Panda in ninth, Amazed in 10th. And we've got Alfio, Bobbert, LGS and Jakey. So Jakey's got a lot of work to do. And also Casey, I believe, has got a 5-place grid penalty. I think because he collided with someone. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to check the incidents again, but only time will tell as we're about to get started with this race. 14 drivers are racing here today, and I am looking forward to seeing how this prevails. What's the weatherman going to decide for us? Let's find out, folks. It is dry. It is dry here in the amazing Catalonia. So what a relief there. So anyway, let's have a look at the... Well, I was going to look at the classics, but I forgot to change it for a minute there. So hopefully that fixes itself. There we go. So we'll have a look at a bit of the classic cars, which is one of the Benetton cars, actually, which we're running on board with at the moment. Now, this weekend saw a weekend where Lewis Hamilton equalled Michael Schumacher's winning record of 91 wins. So it's very well fitting, actually, that one of the Benetton cars is racing in the exhibition race earlier on as well. And obviously Michael Schumacher won his first ever championship in the Benetton car. And it looked like it was one of the... I don't know which model it was, but it was probably a later one by the looks of things. I'm not entirely sure. But again, I will have to double check in a second as we're about to go into the race, as he goes through the beautiful chicane. Now, there was some really good races that Schumacher took part in as well. Like, I think he won 94, 95, and then he won about 2000, 2001, 2, 3, and 4. So he won quite a lot of titles. No, not 2004. What are you on about? But yeah, he is a man that's not going to be forgotten. And obviously, I hope Schumacher makes a steady recovery and he's watching, maybe in the hospital bed. You never know. But there he comes across the line now. We're about to go with the formation lap. So there we go. So we're going to look with tyres then. So let's have a look at the tyres. Now, pit strategy is something that we're going to be talking about in a second. So we've got the top 9 on the softs. And then we've got Alfio on the mediums, Bobbitt's on the mediums, LGS on the mediums, KC on the softs. And since I thought Jakey would be starting on the softs, but I think since it counts as either disqualification or not seeing a lap time, he could start on whatever tyre that he wants to. And I do believe Hawk can't gain control of his car anymore, and he's ghosted. So hopefully he can join once the lap starts. And he's saying that he can't take control, but if you're watching, just wait and probably till lap 1 or something, and then, or even the middle of lap 1, then take control, and you should be absolutely fine, because I don't think you could take control in the formation lap, I don't think. So we are about to get started for 33 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. And I really do hope we're all going to have a fantastic one. Hopefully no dramas today. And there's no sign of any changeable conditions. And here, I think a lot of people are going to go for the 2-stop by the looks of things. And those are the potential pit windows that you saw on the screen as well. So anyway, are we ready to go? As I see some weird person, which was in the sky, but there we go. So anyway, the 5 red lights are on. And it is lights out, and away we go, and King Connor's go. Really good start from Tom in second place, and then we got one of the Ferraris as well. Con Pablo having a good start as well as he tries to overtake the Racing Point into turn 1. Let's see if Alden can make way very clearly. There's already been a spin already from the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo. Huge contact from pretty much half of the field. I said that I hope there wasn't going to be any drama, but there already is drama, so I probably jinxed people there. Maze is all the way down into last place of this race, and again I'm shocked that there wasn't any VSCs being deployed there, but I don't think, some people might have got damaged and some people may have just avoided that. And I think when Hawk controlled his car, I think he may have been the one that got involved in an instant, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh wow, so Hawk and Jakey, I think Hawk's having issues joining or something like that, because he keeps going AI, and Jakey's going very slowly. He's got damage and he's letting people past. Oh, and King Kong's out of the race, with Hawk being, I think Hawk and the Maze maybe being involved as well. And we got a safety car on the first lap. And we're seeing quite a few people going into the pits. I think quite a lot more than intended. And since we are seeing a lot more people going into the pits, we won't know timings for quite a while. So will people opt for a different strategy, I wonder? Now, due to the fact that Con Pablo, I believe, has got damage, he's going onto the hard tyres, which I think is a very brave strat. The hards can go for quite a bit in this race. Let me just check how long the hards can go on for, actually. 21 laps, 22 laps on the hards. And the delta loss between the softs and the hards is 1.2 seconds. So he's going to be slower originally. And he's saying he's P1 on my screen, but he's not. So, yep, he drops back down, so that's good. And Hawk has left the session, so I think he's given up. I'm not entirely sure, and I felt very bad for King Kong. Again, a second race in a row, but for another person, the race was over before lap 1. So, unfortunate. But since the majority of people have caught up anyway, probably the safety car will probably come in a lot quicker than maybe I was expecting. And we are seeing Tom is leading the field away, and the safety car causing a bit of issues there, but hopefully it will be sorted soon. So, Tom, the last time he's led a race was in Australia. Can he nail that restart this time? He's got to. He doesn't want to lose the lead again. He was, I think, the only 7 that got caught out, not got caught out with damage. Let me have a look at pit stops, actually, because we can look at pit stops in the chain. So, Con Pablo pitted, but he didn't repair anything. Neither did Casey or May. So I'm guessing they wanted to change tyres for the sake of it. Whereas Bobbitt, Jakey and Hawk had front wing damage. So, and you can tell the difference in the pit stop. Hawk's pit stop was really long though. So I wonder why his pit stop was long. Only time will tell. I would like to know how that would have worked. I would like to see the POV at the end of the race to see it from their point of view. And I think the thing that is still happening at the moment is if people rejoin the session during the race, I've suffered it quite a few times. You are racing. Okay. What is happening? What is happening right now? I don't understand what's going on. I will have to rechange the connection. For some weird reason. I don't know what's going on. Xbox Live, I think, was having issues. So hopefully someone could send me a new invite. So I'm gonna ask someone if they can send me a new invite, because I think I might get frame drops as well, even though I'm a spectator. So it's a bit sad that it's happened, but there we go. So there is still a safety car period anyway, so we're not gonna miss much. Luckily 3 people has just sent me invites, so they got my message. It's all good. Hopefully it wasn't just me, and it might have been someone else as well. I might have to restart my Xbox, but we'll see. As it's taking a long time to rejoin the session. So apologies for the technical difficulties that we're suffering here today. And hopefully we will get back into racing action pretty soon. And it's taking a while for me to join session actually, which is very annoying. It is still stuck on joining session, which is frustrating. But luckily they were able to invite me under safety car, but I think the safety car would have probably ended now, so it would have taken a long time to load. And it's stuck on joining session, so just give me a second. So what I might have to do is restart my Xbox. And you may hear a little bit of a Xbox noise as I try to restart. And I don't think I might get an error code, so yeah, I'm gonna restart my Xbox. Just for a second. This is the first time it's actually happened on Xbox, actually. And I probably have to do something with my internet, I think, as well. I think I know why, because I forgot to change the settings as well around. So if I just do this second, change that to that. And I have been told to restart the game, which is what I'm going to do. So I applied the changes that I was meant to do at the start. I should have done it, but there we go. So I think they're on lap 3 at the moment now, and I think Tom is going to have a really good edge on the restart, I think, in my opinion, but we will... One way to find out if when we try to go back in the session. Hopefully it won't take too long to join, and if they're still watching, hopefully they can send me some more invites, and we may see a few people make moves or not even notice. It's going to be hard to adjust, I think, as well, where people are and stuff. So we will see. Touch wood, hopefully we should be absolutely fine, and we can get to be going again very soon. Once the Xbox decides to load, please. And my Xbox is stuck on a black screen. Lovely. Oh, there we go. That should be fine. I've got loads of invites. Have I got loads of invites? No, I've got loads of invites now. So, we're praying to welcome to technical difficulties with AOR. So, I can't... That's the disadvantage of just having one commentator. You can't get radio AOR like you used to, unfortunately. So hopefully the game will load quickly, because then we can get started again. There's probably quite a lot of things happening right now, so I'm gutted I'm missing it, really. I'm trying to... I think as soon as the game wants to load, then we can start. I think because the game knows it wants me to load, that's why it's doing it a lot slower. So, quite a few people have sent me invites, so let's try some of them. Fingers crossed. I think what I should have done is maybe I should have muted my mic, but also hopefully joining the game will be the best option. And there we go, we're in, and I almost clicked ready up there, and that would have been a disaster. So, I'm in the lobby, but I'll let you know when I'm in the race. I think the safety car would have come in at the moment. But we'll see. I think, yeah, it would have come in by now. It would have come in by now. So touch wood, ladies and gentlemen, I can hop back into the session, and everything will be hunky-dory, and it'll be all good. So, there we go. We are in the session, ladies and gentlemen. That's good. That is brilliant. Okay. So the safety car has come in, and it gives us a chance to go have a look through your running order. And thanks to those of you that were just... that bared with us for the last 5 or 10 minutes whilst these technical issues were happening. So, Tom was able to control that restart nicely with Jonah in second. He had a good restart. Dago in third, Squishy Panda in fourth, Humperdinck in fifth place, LGS in sixth, Con Pablo in seventh, Alfio in eighth, Amaze in ninth, Roberts in 10th, Jakey still can't make up some ground as of yet, and Casey in 12th. And Casey being a little bit twitchy, so hopefully we won't have any more technical difficulties, but hopefully you guys can see the action a little bit more, fingers crossed. So, we could see some battles coming up as well, with Humperdinck really stretching the gap between Squishy Panda and Daegu, just past turn 1, turn 2 and into turn 3. We could see a DRS train coming up here, but with only 2 DRS zones, they need to find some really creative spots for these guys to overtake. But the Dirty M may just find it a little bit more tricky. Now, I was racing my team a few months ago around Spain, and I think out of all the tracks, the tyre temp, if you don't manage your tyre right, it can go absolutely hot. So that is why some of these guys may want to be going off the soft compounded tyres, probably even quicker. The undercut strategy could potentially work, and I'm shocked that a few people on the softs have not pitted for the hards, no, the mediums, for the 2-stop. So they may try to stretch the 1-stop, but they can because of the safety car. And because it was a safety car, softs to hards could be doable. It could be doable at this stage. If they can stretch those tyres to around about lap 12 and 13, that could work. Meanwhile, Daegu with a brilliant overtake around the outside into turn 1. Awesome stuff from the Haas driver. We've seen in real life, of course, spoiler alert, the Grosjean got his first points of the season. Could the Haas cars do very well in this game, in this tier, and get a podium? Only one way to find out. Make sure that you stay tuned for the rest of this race, because it's going to be an absolute cracker. And we're seeing some more battles potentially with Humperdinck as well. He's right on the back of Squishy Panda. And And Squishy Panda's got DRS as well. So has Jonah and Daegu. So that is why Humperdinck is at a disadvantage now, because quite a lot of people are in DRS trains soon. And don't forget the safety car. After the safety car, there would be no DRS for 3 laps. And I'm not entirely sure when the safety car came in, because unfortunately, I was not in the session when that happened. So Squishy Panda goes into the pits for his first stop. So, her first stop, sorry. So was Tom. So, what tyres are they going to go on for? The undercut is on. And hard tyres, which was what I was expecting. And what about Tom? Hard as well. Hard for Squishy Panda. So, are the other guys at the front going to see this? And Jakey has left the session. And quite a lot of things is happening. I think we do see Jonah getting a puncture. Yeah, Jonah's got a puncture front left. So either he may have made contact with someone, or someone made contact with him, or he was just pushing his tyres far too much. And there's going to be people that are going to try and overtake him. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. There's going to be a lot of debris, I think, on the circuit, as Jonah very kindly, I think, moves out of the way. And we shall see how this could change everything. It could change everything with Jonah going into the pits, as Jonah was doing brilliantly in the safety car restart, and then he just got very, very unlucky, and yeah, his tyres are not good, so he has to pit. But going on the hard tyres is not going to be a bad thing right now. He's already lose so much positions. Meanwhile, Daegu is also in the pit lane. Does he change onto the hard compounded tyres too? Looks like he does. So there he goes then, and let's see where he comes out of. He's got Tom right behind, well, in front of him now. So the undercut did work for Tom. So Tom is technically your race leader out of the ones who have pitted so far. Then it's Daegu in a net second. Squishy Panda in a net third place. Then we've got Jonah in a net fourth. Jakey's gone on to the mediums. So I wonder if Jakey is going to be... Oh, Jakey's left the session. So maybe it is AI that did that. I'm not entirely sure. We're seeing Humperdinck in the lead, but the crossover point has hit now already. The Humperdinck could struggle. So if I was Humperdinck, pitting now would probably be the safest option. Humperdinck, yep, he goes in. LGS stays out. Of course, he's the last Humperdinck. It's the last of the soft runners to pit. And I wonder if the hards or the mediums is going to be the more beneficial tyre around here. And where will Humperdinck come out? Only time will tell. Pablo with almost a late lunch there, but LGS closes the door very nicely indeed. And he's got to try and find a way to stretch that gap. Now again, because I also disconnected, I'm not entirely sure what the status is in terms of time penalties. But again, there probably could be a few. It is known, Spain is known for getting time penalties around here. I know, because I've got quite a few penalties in my team. And it's not nice, I can tell you that. Alfio in third place, doing quite well on those mediums as well. So he's probably going to pick a similar time to LGS. Now, the ones on the mediums, they're going to be doing a medium to hard strategy. They're going to go on, I think, normally without a safety car, lap 14. But with a safety car, I would say around about lap 16, I would say. Yep, they are. But we're going to see Pablo try to make a move. LGS could not defend that. LGS is struggling a bit on his tyres. Pablo says thank you very much. And Pablo takes the lead on track of this race. And that's crucial. He's going to try and get that gap to what he wants. And then he's going to try and get some very good points today. And there's more chance. And there's more chance for these guys to get a point then not get a point here. So you can't take any risk then. I think Jakey's left the session, so technically there's 11 drivers here today. So anyway, LGS then, I think it's going to be under pressure from Alfio too. But I think with the DRS, it's going to hinder him, I think, Alfio. But Alfio will need to pit in a few laps time, I think, as well. Lap 22, I think the hards could pit. And they could try and go onto the soft tyres, so they're going to be incredibly quicker in the race. I've seen in Spain the alternate strat work really well. So I wonder if the likes of LGS could try that, and maybe he could be looking on a course for a victory, as the pit window has popped up for me for Alfio, and he's going to go onto the hards. So a lot earlier than I thought. But I'm guessing he may ask Jeff to hold that thought and pit a lot later, so he can be on fresher hards going towards the end, and he won't struggle, and he can push towards the end to try and gain that place. So, looking at the ones that have already pitted, the gaps are starting to increase. So between Tom and Daegu, it's around about 2.3 seconds. Between Daegu and Humperdinck, 1.4. And then Squishy Panda is around about 6/10 behind Humperdinck, so she's doing quite well. A lot of people, there's only a few people in this league that have been scoring points recently. And a few people have not. Obviously, a few people are not here tonight, so they're not going to be taking huge advantage around there. So we're almost halfway into this race. We're on lap 15 at the moment. In a few laps' time, we will be halfway. Around about lap 16, lap 17. So these guys maybe got to think on their feet a bit more. Respond to the undercut for the ones that are still yet to pit. And the ones on the hards, they know that they have to go push these tyres until the end. So, and the worry is, again, if they push too much, the danger is also you could be in punch territory. So, you know, because it's not common to do soft to hards around here. But I've seen, especially esports drivers, make the strategy work. So it is not impossible. If you can manage your tyres nicely, and I think you'll probably have the benefit of having cleaner air as well. So if you have cleaner air, you can make it work. So I think Jonah is going to have the advantage, because the gap between him and Squishy Panda is 8.2 seconds at the moment. So that could really help him settle his nerves a little bit. And he could probably save a little bit now and then push towards the end. Meanwhile, LGS pitting a lap earlier than the required amount, but he wants the undercut on his rivals, and he's going to take that risk. So onto the hards he goes, and that will definitely go until the end of this race. And we're seeing Tom go past him. Dagu's going to get past him as well. So is Humperdinck, maybe. We will see. LGS gets ahead of Humperdinck. So LGS is a net P3. He's timed that very well. He's going to be on fresher tyres too. I did say don't rule out the race win for LGS yet. And I'm worried I'm probably going to jinx him. So I am not going to be saying anything more. Because last time I said quite a bit, especially in Vietnam, they crashed. So I don't want that. So if I was Alfio, knowing that LGS is pitted and he timed that well, would he be like, oh no, I probably timed that wrong. So he would have had to have the fastest in-lap he can. He almost sped in the pit lane there, so he slowed down just in time, which is fair enough. So there he goes, Alfio, and it's a long pit stop for him. Yeah, it is a long pit stop for Alfio. So Alfio comes out, and he's going to come out Humperdinck again. No, Squishy Panda. So if he pitted up earlier, like Tom, he would have been ahead of Humperdinck and in a similar position to Tom. So, you know, LGS timed it well. Alfio is down in 10th place and in a net P6. Jonah in a net P7, I believe as well. Jakey has left. So we still have 4 drivers yet to pit. And Pablo will be stretching it just a little bit more until the end of the stint. Probably around about lap 21-2. So will Roberts. Amaze got to think about pitting this lap. He's looking up though. There could be a danger where his tyres could be up onto territory. And he's staying out, but he's known for his aggressive strategies. He's known to take risks. And at times it can pay off for him. And I thought Amaze was going to fight that, being the person that he is, like he did in USA last season, but he didn't. So good job to Amaze for keeping his cool there. And I think he knows he's struggling and he doesn't want to hold up Bobbert, so that is why. So Amaze can concentrate on his own race, pit a lap later, and then they can fight these guys. There is a possibility when you think about these types of strats. If you know you're not going to fight them on track when you go out of the pits, don't hold them up. Because they're not going to be happy about it. You're not going to be happy about it. They're going to be losing time. You're going to be losing time. So that is a double-edged sword, double whammy on a double-edged sword. And probably that saying just did not make sense there, but there we go. So Bobbert has got a lot of work to do to try and climb up the field, but never say never, really. As Bobbert goes out for another lap on the hards, and Maze goes in. So either Maze can read my mind, or he's very clever. So Maze is a quite short edge to the pit box, and he goes on to the hards, I'm guessing. Or mediums. Oh, wait a minute. What tyres did he start on? That's what I'd like to know. Let me check. So, pit stops. So, I'm looking at the strategies here. Amazed started on the mediums, so he will have to pit one more time. He can't afford not to. He would have gone on the hards definitely until the end. So he's going for the gamble. He's going for the 2-stop. I wonder if that would pay off for him. Personally, I don't think it will. But if the mediums could go faster, he could potentially get past maybe Alfio, Panda, Humperdinck, LGS, Segu and Tom. That's pretty much it. But he's going to probably have danger with the likes of Pablo, Bobbers and KC. But we will see. We will watch to see how Amaze does for the rest of this race. And Pablo and Bobber's pitting as well. So there they go. When I thought with the safety car period they would have pitted a lap later, but they don't want to take any risks. So they go onto the medium tyres. And that's going to last until the end of this race. So Tom takes your race lead here in Spain. What about Pablo though? Is Pablo going to go ahead of these guys' battle? I think he does. LGS gets ahead of the people that just pitted. Who else just pitted and came out? I didn't see who it was. I thought there was someone else that came out. It was Bobberts. And he's on tyres that were 2 laps old. So that is interesting. So he might be going on older tyres that he might have used in qualifying. But we will have to wait and see. That's 20 of 33 now. The only driver, yet to make a pit stop is KC. I can't really go on board with KC much now because obviously KC is lagging for me, but we can see Tom hunting him down. If I was Tom, I would be worried, so maybe try and be brave a little bit there as well. It could risk a little bit of an issue if KC was to cause some trouble with internet. There has been some problems in the past where people with internet problems have caused a few accidents, but Tom has nothing to worry about here. Pablo in potentially a net P2 on those mediums. He's doing the same strat as Amazed. He was like, hang on, if I see Amazed doing that, maybe I could do that too. So I wonder how that will turn out for him in the long run. If he stretched that gap to around about the pit loss time, which is around about 20 seconds, that could work wonders for him. But if he doesn't, because the only other people yet to pit again would be Amazed, then there could be some danger. Actually, no, Pablo doesn't have to pit again because he started on the hards, I think. Let me check. So, pit stops. Pablo. Yeah, he started on the hards. Okay. Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? So, he doesn't have to pit again. So, yeah, he's all good. I almost lost track of pit stops. I do apologise. However, I am seeing quite a few things happen at the moment with a few other guys as KC finally goes into the pit lane, and we're seeing a battle between Humperdinck, Squishy Panda, Bobbert, Alfio and Amazed. I think Alfio's going to probably try and make a run into, I think, turn 1, and he's on a harder tyre, so if he makes this move done, it'll be a godsend. Now, he's the one who likes to take risks, and I think the majority of risks he's taken this season has led him on to some really good things at the moment, and that's helped him out massively. So if Alfio can continue his performance later on in the season and continue up and keep up the consistency, he could be on for maybe a top 3 in the championship, because remember, consistency is key in AOR. Just like George Russell says. So, as we're heading on towards lap 23 now, everybody I believe has made their mandatory stop, I believe, but I'll check once again. Yes, everybody has made their mandatory stop, so it's a sprint race for the finish now. But there's a few people that will have to pit again, such as Amaze, Squishy Panda, 4 tenths behind Humperdinck. Again, she can't get past because of the dirty air. LGS though is in danger of losing a position to Humperdinck due to that DRS train, but he's going to have the benefit of being on much quicker tyres due to the fact that they are newer. So LGS is going to hope that he can defend nicely. He's slowly catching up to the gap from Daegu, which is quite nice as well. And we're starting to see a train start to form already. So I think it's like, I feel like there's a few races that it kind of reminds me of, where there's been a DRS train for so long, but you just can't overtake. One of which is Monza. Monza, I think, is a race where it's just, if you get stuck in this train, you just can't do it. I mean, you know, it's just not a very good idea if you were in that situation. So, 1.8 seconds is the gap between Tom and Pablo now. This could be the battle for the win here. Pablo, I didn't see what the gap was before, but he is closing. It was 1.8. It's now 1.6. So he's finding, I think, about 7 tenths a lap at the moment. So, with the benefit of him having clearer air now, he can afford to save at the moment, the way he's going. And then he can push at the end. He can still challenge for the race victory that way, because otherwise, he's going to be in danger of being in dirty air for quite a bit of time. He only needs to do enough to save to make sure he can keep Daegu behind him. but it's just my personal opinion. And for those of you that are watching in the chat, if you were Pablo, what would you do if you were in Pablo's situation? It's going to probably be a tough decision for Pablo to handle. But we'll see if he's made the right decision towards the end. But I think he's making the alternate strategy work here. 1.2 seconds is the gap now. He's going to be within DRS range really, really soon. He's increasing the gap to Daegu now. The gap between Pablo and Daegu, 3.3 seconds. And Roberts appeared on the mediums quite early on as well. So Roberts could be on for a great race as well, but again, he's being held up. Squishy Panda will need to pit, I think, very soon as well. I think, actually, no. Squishy Panda, I think she will stay out. Quite a lot of people will stay out, actually. But we could be on the cusp of punch territory, so watch out. Let's hope not. Let's hope we won't have a Silverstone where we get loads of punches, because we don't want that. We want to see people fight for the glory here today for the race win. As Roberts has got Alfio right behind him, and so is Amazed as well. And Alfio may just hang on just a little bit. Squishy Panda, is she going to get the move on Humperdinck? No. Humperdinck can't make the move on LGS, even though LGS had a lock up there. So I think all it takes is for one of the people in this DRS train to make a mistake, and then all hell breaks loose, and then someone makes a mistake. As Squishy Panda did a corner cut there, she did. So that's going to help Roberts with a good run. So here comes Roberts then. Roberts, is he going to go for a lunge to the right into turn one? No. Doesn't want to take that risk. Neither does Humperdinck on LGS, even though he's around about 4 tenths. Maybe them being around about, I would say, 2 tenths will probably be the best situation. But I wonder also, if I was LGS, would you want to be the one attacking or be the one defending around here? Now Spain, definitely you want to be the one defending. But the likes of, like, say, Austria, Belgium, Italy, those types of tracks, Silverstone, where overtaking is quite common, then you would want to be the one attacking, because you're probably going to be getting that move anyway. So we'll see. As more people are starting to make moves, Roberts is going to try and make a move around the left-hand side, and brilliant controlled the brakes there. He was very late, but that didn't stop him from making a move. He had nice car control there, and that's put him on good terms. He's up into P6 already. Let's see who has gained the most positions here. So we've got LGS, who's gained 8 places. We've had, let me just see who else has gained positions. Daego's gained 3. Pablo and Tom both gained 1. Humperdinck's gained 2. Roberts has gained 5. Squishy Panda's gained 1. Alfio's gained 2. Amaze staying where he is, but he still has to pit. Jonah is the only one has dropped down positions. Jakey obviously is disconnected and technically out of the race. And Casey has gained 2. So who has been your driver of the day so far? Who has surprised you the most? Who has been the most improved driver today? Who has outshone these guys? We will only find out soon, as a lot of Spanish flags are waving in the background as well. Some people are hoping for their home favourites to win today. And we could see things turn in the championship if some people don't get a good result today. Next week we go to Monaco. And I will say this later on, Monaco, I think, is crucial to get a good qualifying result in. And Daegu is in 3rd. Meanwhile, Tom and Pablo getting the move done. Pablo finally stretching the gap to Tom. His medium tyres are absolutely helping him right now, and he's in the lead of this race. But the crucial factor is, how many penalties does Pablo or Tom have? And if you do know, do not tell. Because, again, I do not want to spoil anything. But this could be a really spicy end to this race. Pablo, I don't think has had a race victory so far this season. Neither has Tom. So, could this be on course from one of these guys to get their first AOR victory here in the top tier? Both of these guys will want to do that. And it will be great to see them fighting on the go. It reminds me of Pierre Gasly and Sainz in Monza, where Gasly obviously was Pablo. Oh, Tom almost making a mistake. I almost jinxed him a little bit there, but great saving from him. But that could have been a lot worse for Tom. So he's keeping going, of course, in that Racing Point. And I do apologise if I called Racing Point Force India quite a few times, because I have a feeling I might have done. So that can cause a little bit of an issue, but there we go. So Tom will probably be asking Jeff about penalties. Usually I would, but again, I'm not going to check. Jonah's in the pit lane. So it was that for damage, because I didn't quite see what it was. Or Jonah would probably want to try and go for fastest lap, which, to be honest, I do not blame him. He can stole away the point from the top 10. You only get that extra point if you do finish inside the top 10. If you finish outside the top 10, then there's no big deal, really. So let's see if Jonas can pull it off. Jonah, not Jonas. I'm thinking of another Jonas, that's probably why. So we're seeing a train forming between LGS. Bobbert's getting the move on Humperdinck. Can Bobbers get the move on his teammate? Only one way to find out. Bobber's on that fresh and medium tyres. Here he goes. Streamlined LGS with a brilliant move. No trouble there. LGS not defending there, but LGS has got to be worried about Humperdinck now. So Bobbers is going to try and catch up. 2.2 seconds to the Haas car of Daegu. We've seen Pablo catch up to Tom in such a short time frame. And now look where they are. So, brilliant stuff from him. And we can see Alfio being about a second, about 2/10 behind these guys. Alfio could be on the chance for a move. Here he goes. DRS open. He's got the fuel warning light on, but he doesn't care right now. Squishy Panda closes the door on Alfio, though. He was ever so close to get that job done. Maybe the start finish straight. He's just looking, Alfio's just looking so much better on the traction at the moment. So, and maybe amazed as well, the ones on those medium tyres are performing so much better compared to the ones on the hards right now. 3 laps to go, sorry, of this Spanish Grand Prix. And I hope you've all been loving it today. It's been a lot of fun. Again, I would like to apologise for the technical issues here today. As, oh my goodness, Squishy Panda's out of the race and Humperdinck or someone has got damage. I did see one Mercedes got damaged, but I wasn't quite sure what. That looked like a nasty shunt. I wonder if we're going to get a safety car. And still a yellow flag for Sector 1. If it was real life, then maybe a VSC. And the yellow flag has gone. So the marshals did a brilliant job getting rid of that car very quickly. So, yeah. But that was unfortunate for her. She was running so well, but unfortunately got caught up in an instant. I didn't see what was involved there. But only one way to find out. And no sign of rain, so it's going to be dry for all of this. But Tom, I think unless Pablo has quite a few penalties, Tom would have to settle for P2 of this race. Daegu will be on for an impressive 3rd position. Daegu's best result in this league is a P3 in Australia. So he's on for his equal best result in AOR in the top tier, which will be well deserved for him. Bobbits would have wanted a win here today, but Bobbits, he's still going to hopefully try and keep that point streak. The gap between Humperdinck and Bobbits is around 10 points. So Bobbits will be finishing ahead of Humperdinck as it stands. But again, we do not know about penalties, so Bobbits will probably be happy that he will still be extending his lead right now. But Tom will be closing up to these guys. So this is going to be shaping up to be a very close championship here. And we're about to start the final lap. The gap now, 1.9 seconds. Oh, this is going to be almighty. These guys could not make a mistake now. We've seen Jakey become so complacent in qualifying, and that resulted in him getting a disqualification. Pablo just cannot become complacent as long as he takes the car home. He's absolutely fine. So, what's the gap now between Humperdinck and LGS now? And Mays has dropped down a little bit, so the battle that we were probably going to get later on in the race, well, a few laps ago, unfortunately, did not materialise, sadly. As LGS is around about 2.4 seconds behind Bobbits, his teammate, but he's got to worry about Humperdinck now. Humperdinck, again, not close enough. He is running out of airs, though, so that is something to worry about. As could be a huge factor. But anyway, let's watch it for Pablo now as he comes across the final corner. And he's going to win the Spanish Grand Prix on track, at least. And I think he's going to keep it. We'll see. Tom crosses across the line, and yes, Con Pablo takes it. He takes the win. Well done to him. Tom in second. Daegu, with his equal best result of the season, gets P3. Bobbits with P4. I think Bobbits will be happy with that because he's gained 7 positions. LGS could have fought for the win today, but there was lots of traffic in front of him, so he remains P5. But again, he'll probably be happy with that as well. Humperdinck in 6th place. Alfio in 7th. Amazed in 8th position. And Casey is going to finish and get points. And I believe that's Casey's first points of the season. Yes, it is. Actually, no, he just lost out. Did he just lose out on points? Oh, no, he didn't. He got 9th. I was worried then. But yeah, Casey has got his first point of the season. Not just 1 point, but 2 points. So, well deserved for him. Great job. And we've got Bobbits who's got Driver of the Day for gaining 7 positions. Who will be your Driver of the Day, as we're just waiting for the standings to show up, hopefully. And there we go with the podium. We've got the Ferrari guy on top of the podium. On Con Pablo. I don't think he will be expecting that, but I think he'll be very pleased with himself, with his performance. As are quite a few other guys as well. So let's go to the results. So here we go. I'll go through it again. Not many penalties this week, which is great to see. So Pablo takes it from Tom in 2nd. Daegu 3rd. Bobbits 4th. LGS 5th. Humperdinck 6th. Alfio 7th. Amazed 8th. KC 9th. And Jonah in 10th. And your non-finishers are Jakey B, Squishy Panda, Hawk, and King Cont. And I didn't have to scroll down because there was only 14 drivers. I think a lot of these guys, could have been a lot cleaner. But hopefully, we will have a very good race in Monaco. To be honest, I am very excited for Monaco. It should be a really good one. A race of attrition for some of these guys. They've got to get it right. Qualifying is essential. And it's also a race that they can't give up on. If they do give up on, they could be losing some crucial championship points. So, and it is known for some great wells in Sandoval. Also down the hairpins as well, the tunnel as well, where we can see the most overtakes. But I'll talk to you a little bit more about that next week. So, that has been the end of the Spanish Grand Prix. I've had a lot of fun commentating for you guys. I've been JessGames95, and we will see you next week for round number 7 for the Monaco Grand Prix. Have a good evening, everybody, and goodbye.